Maddie Shipley here. Hey, so this is just going to be like a quick little intro clip to what I'm doing today. If you follow me on social media, you may have seen my story where I talked about I was going to pick 2 questions, ask 4 people close to me the same question and see how they answer. However, as I started to do a little bit more research into that, like what questions would I ask and whatnot, I think I decided to ask more than 2 because I didn't want to ask just like 2 like open-ended questions. So I'm going to throw a couple of funny ones in there. Guys, they have no idea what I'm going to ask. They have no idea who's going first or whatever. So they are not allowed to speak to each other, to prep each other for questions. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think it's going to open me up more to you guys, and you'll know a different perspective of other people. Maybe you've drawn your own. I'm definitely interested in hearing about that. I feel like life's journey is all about growth and where it can take you, and I feel like every experience is an impactful experience, and we can all take something from the things that we go through. Right now, I'm COVID-19 positive. I have so many other symptoms going on with that. I got it from a friend, and she has been thriving, and I am not thriving. So this is the first day that I've felt a little bit alive. Well, yesterday was. And so I decided today, if I could pull it together, I would do this. So bear with me as we do Zoom interviews. So obviously social distancing, and because I got the Rona, my peeps can't be here with me, and that would just be really hard to do. So we're gonna do a little screen record. It won't look like this, but it'll be worth it. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Erica.
Hi.
Erica Reese, she's my best friend. So she's going to be the first one I'm asking questions to. She's also the one that was very hesitant at first. I don't want to be on film. What did you say? I don't want to be on camera or film. Did you say film?
I think I said camera.
Okay.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Here you are. Okay, so I'm going to ask questions. It's going to be more than 2. You just answer how you feel. And also, I need you to publicly confess that you will not disclose what these questions are to the other people being interviewed after.
Okay, I promise. I publicly confess that I will not share the questions with the poor people that have to answer them after me.
Okay, so first question is, if I could only say, you just answer, if I can only say one word for an entire day, what would I say?
Rad.
I love that, rad. Cool, yeah. What do you think that I do when no one's around, when I'm just at home by myself?
I think that you think up things to entertain yourself via, like, what should I do? Should I play the ukulele? Should I work out? Should I watch TV, which you don't watch a whole lot of it, but should I vlog? What should my next vlogging topic be? I think you're very, like, you don't like to be complacent and sit still, so you're thinking of something to do.
Correct, good. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's correct, but
yeah. Correct.
There's no wrong or right answer, rather. Okay, what is one thing that you don't think people know about me that you
do?
No boundaries.
Okay. It depends on how long they've known you. But I don't think a lot of people know, like, the past you. Like, you used to be big and you're amazing, and your lifestyle is completely different than what it was when I first met you. And I think that people know that you're about your lifestyle, but I don't know that they've all gotten to experience that. And I've known you from beginning to now. So I think it's a huge lifestyle change.
I like it. Okay. If I could change one thing about myself, what would it be and why?
I think that it would be you like processing things before they come out of your mouth, as far as like you don't want to be an ugly person to people, and sometimes you're quick to like, this is what I think, and I'm the same way, so I get it. But I think that you want to be more, is the word introspective, like you really want to think about it
Yeah.
and give thought to it before you say something to somebody.
I don't disagree with that. Okay. What are a couple of things, top two, maybe you can just have one, it doesn't matter. What is something or some things that you think draw people to me, and why? Like what do I have to what do you think that those top things are? Or like maybe even for you, like if you think about that, like what is it that you I don't want to necessarily say what do you love about me, but like what do you love about me?
So I love, the thing about you is, and that you have to offer to people, is that you're very, the word that keeps coming into my mind is spontaneous. Um, because we could be sitting on the couch drinking wine, and then 22 seconds later you're like, let's go in public, and I never say no, I always agree. But like your your energy, your positive vibe, like your happiness, I think that is what draws me to you.
I want to hug you through the Zoom. Okay, and what do you think my biggest fear is?
um kind of, okay, so like I'm thinking, like, off the top of my head, the first thing that comes to me is rejection. And I say that because you don't have a problem with it. Like, if somebody doesn't like you, then guess what? They don't like you.
Hmm.
But I feel like it weighs on you, and I think it's a fear. Like, you are a positive person and you have so much to offer people, and if you don't think that people see that, it's a rejection. You take it as a rejection, and um I think that might be a fear. I don't know.
Man, that's so good because maybe I wouldn't have even said that, but like I think that's what's cool and special about this is because like you get to hear the perspective of other people, and sometimes it puts those fears that you don't even know that are in existent to light. And yeah, I mean, I think that you're right. And maybe rejection or just like being misread or misleading or whatever that might be, which also leads to this all in all rejection, right? Okay, last question. It might be the most like the longest question. I don't know if it'll be hard or easy, but
Okay.
I want you to talk about my growth from like you, you don't necessarily have to go because you have known me so long, but like like of where I've been in like the past year or so, and those ups and downs, and like what is your take on that?
So I think your growth, um, I mean, you struggle with anxiety and it was really overwhelming for you. Um, and just not being heard, um, and not being able to have your own opinion, um, because that's how you felt. I think that you've experienced a new freedom, as you went through your divorce, and it was a struggle. I think that you have found out who you are. You're still working on it. It's still the process. I mean, it's always a process for everybody. But I think that you're growing in the sense of like you're confident, and as you are having conversations with complete strangers, like you've never talked to these people,
Hmm.
you're discovering like what's out there, and mm, just like how to be. I think that I don't know, I would say that's your biggest growth, is just like not coming out of your shell, because you've always been out of your shell. You know what I mean? You're not shy,
Yeah.
but just I think you're like have thicker skin, you know? Like this is kind of, you can't be the best until you've gone through the worst kind of thing.
Mhm.
I think that that's what you're going through.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. And you say you can't be the best until you've gone through the worst. And I feel like if you're not really willing to like have your hands open in that, right? Like you're not, you got to be able to grab onto those things that you don't really do right, and like and put those to reality for like the next step. So I think that it's all like a growing process, and like we never reach our maximum potential, right? Like we can always just keep flourishing and evolving into better people. But it's just, it's a cool thing. You're right. Like from not even being able to stick up for myself to now, and then those things being like when you say thicker skin, right? Like I still do, like you say, I get testy and I want to blurt out, but I also make sure in moments to not try to take things so personally
Yeah.
in my skin, or just like understand that other people can disagree and that doesn't necessarily have to do anything with me personally. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
think so.
cool. Well, that was all the questions. How do you feel about your first time?
I mean, I'm not nervous and I don't have anxiety, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, so we'll do it again. Erica Reese, everybody.
All right. Love you.
Love you. Hi, this is Scott Shipley. If you don't know, if you can't put two and two together, Scott Shipley, Maddie Shipley, Sailor Shipley. This is my, I almost said late husband. That would mean you were dead, huh?
Yeah, that would be
Ex-husband. And I'm going to ask him these questions too, which could be funny, or we'll maybe laugh a lot, or maybe I'll end up just ending the call on him. That pattern sometimes repeats itself. Okay, so first question. You want to say hi? Oh,
hello, everyone. I didn't know how much talking I was going to be doing, so I wanted to make sure that I had enough water.
that doesn't look like water.
Oh, it's got Mio in it.
Oh, okay. If I could say only one word for an entire day, what would I say?
Oh,
There's no boundaries.
no boundaries. And all you can say is one word.
One word.
I want to say you'd probably say really. Because I feel like I heard that a lot. Like I would do something and you'd be like, really?
Okay. What do you think that I do when no one's around? Like if I'm home alone, what am I doing?
Napping or dancing?
Okay. Napping?
As of late, I feel like you've napped a lot.
Okay. What is one thing that you can think of that people probably don't know about me?
That you're actually a really good singer. I feel like you're not real vocal about it, and a lot of people don't know that you can actually like sing.
Okay.
It's fair.
I mean, I just didn't think that's what you were going to say, which is fine, but cool. Maybe I wasn't ready to be vocal about it.
Oh. Surprise.
If I could change one thing about myself, what would it be and why?
Your bangs.
And why?
Because you decided to do them on a spur moment by yourself.
Okay. Not a lie. That's not a lie. Okay, what are the top two things about me that you think draws people to me and why?
Your smile and your laugh. You have a big, pretty smile, and you laugh, but you laugh loud. Not in a bad way, but like people are going to want to know like what's funny.
Okay.
But I would say smile, one,
Okay.
and then laugh.
Okay. What's one thing that you wish I didn't do as much? Listen, no boundaries.
No boundaries. I'd say I wish you would give people a little bit more benefit of the doubt. But that would probably, yeah. There's people don't know it. Our relationship now is probably better than it was a while back. So it's hard for me to say those things because things are fine now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If that's still what you think, that's what you think. Okay. What do you think my biggest fear is?
Oh. Sailor drowning at the beach, undertow.
Okay.
That or just really anything to do with someone taking Sailor, something happening to Sailor.
Yeah. Okay. Now, this might not be like this is what I'm closing with. So I want you to talk about my growth journey. So, and this might be hard for you to talk about because, like our relationship and then not being together and maybe you having a lot of it to do with why I may have been in such a dark place. But talk about the growth journey. So, and the ups and downs of that and like where I was to where I am and like, what do you think about that, about me personally? Like, just kind of outline that in your own words if you were going to explain that to someone.
So I think the Maddie that people see now is a different Maddie than 5 years ago, without a doubt. After Sailor, there was issues you had. You know, you worked with some depression issues that were my fault. There was I don't like using the term dark because I still think there was plenty of times of laughter and everything else and happiness. But I think your confidence, I feel like I took a little bit of that away from you at a point. And I would say in the last year, for sure, since we separated, you seem, and this sounds probably is going to sound bad me saying it, but like since we separated, you seem happier, you seem lighter, you seem like you've got a lot of confidence back. Your journey through vlogging, I think for you is one of the best things that you've decided to do. I know that, for me personally, I'm not great at putting things into words in person. And so for me, I write things down. I can't do the vlog, and I respect the fact that you can. And so I think a lot of people that know you or are learning you, I guess is another way to put it, may not realize that what they see right now is not where you came from. And to say I've come a long way is hard for people to grasp if they didn't know you before. And so I'd say that there's a lot that, if I was to say, it sounds dumb, but if I was to put it in percentage, your upbeatness, how happy you are, as much as you're smiling, the funniness, the goofiness is 80% higher than where it was a year and a half ago. And that probably to some people is going to be like, that doesn't really make any sense. But it's hard for those people to grasp it if they didn't know you at that time. I think the people that knew you at that time maybe understand a little bit more why you were as quiet as you were or reserved, because the people that knew you, before you and I met, you were loud. We met out and loud and, things, that's just how it was, how you are and your personality. And then, things changed, but I think you're coming much closer to the Maddie that you were before from a confidence and being outspoken and being those things, but with a more reserved, different outlook on life.
Yeah. Cool. So that's a good thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. That is all of my questions. Is there anything else you want to add? The answer can be no. It can be yes, but
I don't have anything right now, but I think the question thing's kind of fun. I wouldn't expect it. For people that are watching this, all she said is, hey, I want to ask you some questions tomorrow. And she knows that I don't like coming into things blind. And so I was blowing her up, asking her to tell me either the topics or what it was or anything along the line, because I don't like going into things blind. So I literally had no expectations coming into this.
Cool. Well, thanks for hopping on here. And then I think that if I can get him to do it without, I have to coach him through it because he's very long-winded. I am too, but he talks really fast and goes through a lot of details and it's hard to catch on. So hopefully soon we can partner up and pair to do like a co-parenting little vloggy and talk about that and the great things about it, the struggles and stuff that we have still through it. So, but yeah, Scott Shipley. Okay, so Christy, I haven't known that long at all. So these questions might be a little, not difficult, but might cause her to like pause for a second, but it'll be super interesting to have someone on here who doesn't really know me through years and years and years. So welcome. Can you say something?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you say, and that's going to be in there because I'm not going to edit it.
No need to edit. That sounds very professional.
Okay, so if I could say only one word for an entire day, what would I say?
These are already hard. Okay, only one word? Could it be like man?
Yeah, which is a good answer.
Walking around going, I would put the O in there, but then that's cheating because it's 2 words, but so man.
Man, yeah. Okay, what do you think that I do when I'm at home and like no one's around?
I think you're dancing because of Sailor. I think you're also working out because you do that at home too. Those are my 2 guesses.
Okay. This is going to be hard for you. What's one thing that you think you know about me that other people may not?
I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
There's no boundaries.
No boundaries. Okay. Well, we'll put it like this. I think that this next chapter for you, you are focused yet not so much to where it tames your adventurous side.
Okay,
Did you want me to elaborate on that question?
Nope.
Okay, got it.
We're good.
Okay.
If there's something, if I could change one thing about myself, what would it be and why?
I think you would change how your anxiety affects your level of confidence. Because I think that you know you're a confident person, but yet you let your anxiety and doubt sometimes affect that. And that frustrates you and affects your mood. So I think you would balance that out more.
I love that. Yeah, good answer. Okay, what are the top 2 things that either draw, like, hold on, like what are, it doesn't have to be 2, it could just be 1, 3, doesn't matter. Top things that draw people to me or you to me, like what is it about me and why?
Okay, this so far is my favorite question. I think 100% your energy. So, and I can say for me, like it took a lot for me to get up at 4:30 in the morning. And I'm not just going to get up at 4:30 in the morning for anyone. It has to be somebody that I can connect with and that has an energy and a inhibition about them. And I feel like you have this just charismatic, carefree energy that people seek, that a lot of people don't have or want to have, and then they can kind of channel that through you. So.
Oh, I love it. What do you think my biggest fear is?
I think you have so much desire to be the best mom ever for Sailor. And I think that your biggest fear is that in some way, shape, or form that you may not succeed on the level that you want to for her. So I think that, again, because of that carefree, charismatic attitude, that life is just going to happen for you, and you don't have a fear so much in that as you do for Sailor.
Yeah, because that has to be a little bit controlled, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So cool. Okay. Well, one last question, and I think that this might be different for you because you've only known me for the year, but my growth journey from like day one, even maybe through just like becoming closer through the quarantine and stuff, because I feel like we developed a relationship really quickly, and that lockdown, and then the ups and downs of that, or just like elaborate, like what did you see through that from me?
I think, well, even going back to, the journey that you've had with Scott from the time that I've known you, because it was like that journey had just begun, into now, into who you've become now, and things that have transpired over the quarantine, that your confidence level, you're learning to let go of that anxiety and the things that hold you back from being the true Maddie Shipley that you are, and focusing more on, what drives you, what's important to you, and how you can be impactful in the day-to-day of that without the anxiety weighing you down. And I think that's been, for me, what I've seen from you letting go of that more.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, that's all I have. So I'm going to hit not record, and then I'm going to still talk to you, but I'm going to stop it. Okay, so this is Amber Peterson.
What up, world?
I'm super excited that she agreed to do this. She just did, what did you do, a birthing class?
A birthing class, yep.
She's having a baby.
I'll be having a baby.
Throwing that
I'm
thing.
stone cold sober for this right now.
Me too. Not really. I'm on 3 prescriptions. I think maybe a little. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so first question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. If I could only say one word for an entire day, what would I say?
Oh my gosh. Listen. or yeah, probably listen with the hand.
Listen. Okay. What do I do when I'm home alone and like no one's around? What am I doing?
You don't have pants on. Ever. Man, is Sailor home? I mean, if Sailor's home, y'all are probably dancing, or she's probably, trying to put on a dress. And you're just like, listen, ma'am.
Yeah.
With the listen.
Listen.
But you're definitely pantless.
Yeah, for sure.
You're probably cleaning something. Sweeping the floor. Actually, you're Dysoning.
Yeah. I don't mess with no broom, girl.
We don't mess with brooms.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all know, but Maddie is a spokesperson for Dyson. She's gotten like 50 people in my life to buy Dyson.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, cool. I like it. What is one thing that people probably don't know about me?
I would say probably your life growing up, which is difficult to talk about anyway. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of people don't realize where you come from, like why you are the way you are, which is feisty and loving, very caring, and you take things to heart, And I think it has a lot to do. I mean, we've talked about this a million times.
Yeah.
Like just like where you came from, what your family life was like. A lot of people don't know that, which is fine. But yeah. understand. Once I understood, I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
I get why you are.
yeah, it's mind blowing to people too sometimes, because they just.
Because you're so put together compared to like what, I mean, you really are. People that like grew up like you, and I don't mean this to any offense to your family because your family's great,
Yeah.
but just where, who your parents were and all that, people don't really get out of that easily,
Yeah. True that.
So,
Cool. Okay. If I could change one thing about myself, what would it be and why?
oh man, one thing about yourself. I don't know. One thing, probably your bangs. You probably change your bangs. Today you would change your bangs, man. I see you messing with them.
Yeah, you know who else said that?
You.
Scott. I said, but why? He said, because you just got off the couch on a Thursday and went and cut them yourself.
And I done told you didn't consult with any friends, which you're supposed to, and you didn't, which is so Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're full of regret.
Yeah.
I mean, you look cute right now.
Thank you. I fixed him for this.
I know. See.
Yeah. I can't wait to get him in bobby pins.
See. You just don't have the lifestyle for bangs. I hate to tell you that. They look great.
Yeah.
But you're always on the move.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. What are the top two things or two things that you think draws people to me, and why does that happen?
Top two things.
Like,
Yeah.
need to elaborate.
I think that
it could just be one or just the top things or something.
Yeah. I think that you're super direct, and it's a different change of pace compared to most people that you meet.
Mm-hmm.
So you're so direct in that it makes people want more of that because it's not a very common thing in a person. So, I mean, I remember becoming friends with you. What'd you say? The first thing you said to me was, can I have those cookies? I was holding some cookies. I didn't even know who you were. You're like, can I have one of those cookies? And I was like, who's this chick? Asking for, yes, you may. And I was like, I want to be friends with her.
Yeah, so it's funny because I kind of wanted to talk about that. It's funny that you bring it up, like how we met. And so becoming really good friends, I became friends with Amber because she was dating a guy that I worked out with. So I was friends with him. And you guys were just newly dating, right? Kind of?
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, barely dating. And here, I mean, that's like a very hard position, kind of, as like a new girl dating. I was doing a partner competition with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and so here I am in like tiny shorts and a sports bra, walking around asking for your cookies.
Yeah, with a banging bod, and I was like, "Who the hell is this girl?"
Yeah.
And then you just walk up and was like, "Can I have one of those cookies?"
Yeah.
I was into that.
Yeah, well, I love you, and it's the coolest story because that's so hard for people to do, and I'm not gonna like discredit who you are because you're amazing, but women are women, and like that could be like what the, and like. And sometimes
I told you that I saw that picture of you. You posted a picture.
Oh yeah.
Of yourself at his gym, and you're like in a sports bra. I mean, you like look so cute. And I was like, who is Maddie Shipley? And then like the next week he was like, hey, I'm doing a partner workout with this chick named Maddie. You're gonna really like her. I was like, Maddie, I remember that name. And I was like, she tagged herself at that gym, looking like a piece of, cake. So I was totally, I mean,
yeah. But and so let's move on. That's Trevor.
That is Trevor. He was asking me which marinara sauce to use for our dinner tonight.
What's the choice?
I just said,
oh, either one.
Here.
Okay. So what is one thing you wish I didn't do so much of?
Oh boy. That I wish you wouldn't do.
Yeah. Or wait, or like, what do you wish I didn't do as much? Like, it doesn't have to be like.
I would say maybe overthink situations, overanalyze. But it goes back to, I think, you just like having this huge heart and you take everything to heart, and not a lot of people know that about you. Not a lot of people know that you take things to heart. I did it whenever we first became friends, you know. And remember when we were getting our nails done or something, and it was like my birthday, and you were like, I was like, it's not a big deal. You don't have to come if you don't want to come. And you're like, well, do you want me to come to your birthday or not? And I was like, what do you mean? I was just saying it's not a big deal. If you don't come, you're like, well, you're making me feel like you don't want me there. I'm like, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And then that's when I realized that people take things like what, I stopped doing that to people because I would always like discount what I was doing. Like, oh, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
When really I wanted you there,
Yeah. Yeah. And I do that. And I still do that sometimes.
But it really made me realize that, hey, that's really annoying to do that to people when they want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
I know.
She invited me to get my nails done since, so.
Well, I just had to get them done recently because.
Lady, I'm COVID positive. This is what I'm rocking with.
I like it.
Thank you. Okay, so what do you think what's my biggest fear?
Biggest fear. I feel like you are freaking fearless. I don't know. Your biggest fear. Texting and driving is one of your biggest fears.
Yeah.
Especially with your kid in the car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I would think anything to do with parenting Sailor.
Yeah.
I mean, about doing it quote right.
Yeah.
About last night actually.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really see you as a fearless person, though.
I love that.
It's really hard to pin down a fear for you, but if I had to pick one, it'd be like parenting, like a parenting fail.
Yeah, I mean that is fearful for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about the very last thing, and that's going to be like my growth journey, and I'm interested in what you're going to say, like the ups and downs of that. You see me at highs and lows or whatever. Just kind of talk about like that and your perspective on that.
Okay, so this is a cool question or prompt. So I knew you with Scott in the beginning and having Sailor, and I became very close with you guys as a couple. Went on y'all's freaking honeymoon, for God's sakes. Yeah. Trevor and I were talking about that the other day.
Yeah, how fun.
Yeah, and I still love Scott.
Yeah.
And of course, like he's still our friend. But I just saw the change in that dynamic throughout the couple years. And, we were there for a lot of the hard times in y'all's marriage, as y'all were there for a lot of hard times in our marriage.
Yeah.
And to see you come out of it, I wasn't sure if you were going to be bitter or the complete opposite of bitter, like, happy.
Post-divorce or?
Post-divorce.
Yeah.
Because you had gone through so much emotionally and like you were just a different person. Like I just watched you become someone that I didn't meet 4 or 5 years ago, and I still loved you, obviously.
Yeah.
And you're still awesome and fun to be around, but you're just different, and which is fine. There's seasons of life. But now I like don't even like it's like you're completely different than anything that I even met before you went through all that stuff in your marriage. And so it's really fun to watch. And it's like really like, I don't know, if I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you're funky, you're outspoken, not afraid to like do silly things. And before you were timid and you'd struggle with anxiety around people for sure.
Yeah.
You like coming into my friend group, like you would become anxious and all that, which is normal. But I feel like you're not like that at all anymore.
Yeah.
Like you can work a crowd.
Yeah.
Which I feel like was who you were before.
Right.
So it is really cool to watch you become someone that you just weren't for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to do. I don't really know how you did it. So maybe you could vlog about that one day. But
I don't really know, because like it's kind of cool just hearing people's perspectives and different views on how that all went for them. You know what I mean? Just because, like, obviously I see my life through my own lens, and everything that everyone has said has been almost a little bit similar, and some answers have been like exact. And so it's super cool to see that, because it's like those are the things I think about myself, and I think that's eye-opening, because I struggle with self-identification sometimes, because I feel like I'm falsifying who I am through trying to learn who I am at the same time in a new journey and like a new season of life, right? As a single mom and or divorced, and just doing life differently. And so that's really cool. Like it's like a fulfilling moment to be like, yeah, there's been a lot of shitty pieces that I've gone through in the past year, and maybe even recently, but like that I'm not wrong, and that's okay. And so I'm still accepted for who I am. So those overthinking moments can take the fucking backseat, So.
And I also think that it gave you the ability to like take a backseat too, and like see the things that maybe you didn't really like about yourself in that time.
Yeah.
'Cause I know, when you're in a dark space, you become someone that you like don't even recognize yourself. So I feel like it gave you time to kind of figure out who you wanted to be.
Yeah, and I think that those dark or who I didn't like, those things show up, right? Because things may come up where that's just like memory, like that's just like in my brain program to present my reaction or emotion that way, because that's what I was so used to. And so as those things present themselves, like I'm able to like be like, wait a minute, but that's not that anymore. And so that's super cool.
It's so cool.
But it does suck, because you have to suck a little bit for things to show up again, and they're like, oh yeah, but that's
and like just you becoming like super vulnerable, yeah, like just you vlogging is so bizarre to me. I mean, because like you're just being vulnerable and talking about what's going on in your life, when who you were a year ago, you would have never I would have never thought a year ago that you'd be doing a vlog.
Me neither.
At all. Me neither. So it's so cool.
Yeah. I mean,
and it's cool to see you and Scott like be friends.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you could say, I would say almost friends. Like
like you know what I mean? Like we're all,
like he had 8, I had 8 questions. Like I had 9, I had to probably get off. I got small tips. I'm just kidding.
No, you're not, and that's fine. But it's okay.
Yeah,
it really is.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna hit the stop button. I love you, but you can stay on, because I'll talk to you after, and I won't edit any of this stuff out, because I don't do that. So that's Peterson and baby Peterson.
Baby P down here.
Baby P with a P. Boy.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's all she wrote. Okay, so that was super cool, super fun. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that, maybe you laughed a little and you could see consistency in where I live in other people's perspective, which was super cool for me to know that, a lot of people had the same answers, and that I have really, really, really cool people in my life that are willing to do scary and vulnerable things themselves. And I would love to collaborate with you guys or someone else out there if that's what you want to do. Like, I'm down for that. So don't be afraid to hit me up and say, hey, we should do this, that, or the other. And I think that would be really cool, because content is content, and I'm always down for a challenge. So yeah, again, my name is Maddie Shipley. If you liked this video, subscribe, share it if you want. No pressure. See ya.